Hey everyone, welcome into our latest Trade to Black podcast. I'm your host, Shad Dales, and today we're going to break down the biggest developments for the week of March 3rd in the cannabis industry. We had an action-packed week of earnings season, a major political twist involving the Trump administration and cannabis reform, and some key business moves shaking up the space in a good way. So lots to dive into, so let's get into it, because this is TDR's biggest developments for the week in cannabis. First up, if you had Donald Trump potentially backing federal marijuana legalization on your 2025 bingo card, congratulations. You might be onto something. Longtime drug policy advocate Howard Wooldridge revealed that a White House staffer invited him to submit a proposal on why Trump should support federal legalization. Now, Trump has been unpredictable on cannabis. He's backed Florida legalization proposal in the past, but he's also appointed anti-cannabis officials. So, is this a real shift in policy or just another curveball in his political playbook? Wooldridge's pitch will focus on the political advantages of ending federal prohibition, namely how it aligns with Republicans' values on states' rights. And let's be real, the financial side of the argument could just be as compelling. The cannabis industry is booming, and Trump, being a businessman at heart, could see the revenue potential. The big question, if Trump endorses legalization, will the GOP lawmakers fall in line? Some believe his influence could break the long-standing resistance in Congress, but there's still pushback, including from his recent DEA chief nominee. So while this is a headline-grabbing development, it's far from being a done deal. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Next up, North Carolina, and could it finally be ready to embrace medical marijuana? House Speaker Destin Hall signaled that Republicans might be open to a medical cannabis bill this session. Historically, the House has blocked efforts despite Senate support, but the tides may be turning. Senator Bill Rabon has long championed this cause, and polling shows that 71% of North Carolina voters want medical marijuana. One potential factor, Trump's past support for medical cannabis. If he leans in again, Republican lawmakers may follow suit. Lawmakers are also discussing stronger hemp regulations, potentially tying medical cannabis legalization to stricter oversight of Delta-8 THC products. It's a critical moment for North Carolina's cannabis market. Let's now move to Kentucky, where lawmakers just advanced a bill that would ban hemp-derived beverages until mid-2026. Supporters argue it's about proper regulation, but industry insiders see it as a major roadblock for small businesses. The bill would regulate hemp like alcohol, but pausing sales for up to 2 years could do more harm than good. This move could have nationwide implications, since many of the country's hemp beverages producers, they operate in Kentucky. So keep your eye on this one to watch. Let's now focus on inflation, where a new poll by NUG-MD found that 2 out of 3 cannabis consumers are cutting back on spending due to inflation. Medical inflation has outpaced general inflation since 2021, making it harder for people to afford healthcare, including cannabis. A big reason? The IRS 280E tax code, which forces cannabis businesses to pay tax rates as high as 80%. If Congress repealed 280E or mandated insurance coverage for medical cannabis, it could ease costs for consumers. And wouldn't that be nice? It's clear that economic pressures are reshaping cannabis consumption trends. So keep an eye on these types of trends for the remainder of the year. And last up, big news out of the Lone Star State in Texas, where a judge ruled that Dallas can continue its voter-approved cannabis decriminalization policy, rejecting an attempt by Attorney General Ken Paxton to block it. This means no arrests or citations for possessions of up to 4 ounces of cannabis. This decision aligns with what over 2/3 of Dallas voters supported last November. Paxton has been fighting similar reforms in other Texas cities, but so far, courts are siding with the voters, which is great. This ruling is another sign that local governments are pushing back against outdated state cannabis laws. And in Texas, too. Wow. Let's now move to earnings seasons, where we had a big number of companies who announced their latest earnings this week. First up, Curaleaf, who reported $331.1 million in Q4 revenue with a 48% gross margin and $75.8 million adjusted EBITDA. The company is focusing on international expansion and organic growth, launching new products and securing a rare $40 million credit facility at a 7.99% interest rate. It's a big deal for a cannabis company right now. Terracin, they also reported with revenue for Q4 coming in at $74.4 million and a 50.2% gross margin. However, a $45.4 million impairment charge from its Michigan business hurt the bottom line. Next up, Jushi Holdings, who made big improvements to reducing its net loss from $65.1 million to $48.8 million, while adjusted EBITDA increased to $46.2 million. Nice job by Jim Cacioppo and the Jushi crew. And finally, on the other hand, Air Wellness reported disappointing earnings with revenue slightly down to $113.95 million and a $1.40 per share loss. The company also wrote down $118 million in Florida assets, reflecting marketing challenges. Keep an eye on this one. The big takeaway, some companies are finding ways to grow despite tough conditions, while others are struggling to stabilize. To get a full recap on each company's earnings reports, make sure to subscribe to our Baked In newsletter, which is available down here in the description below. Let's now move to some business moves for the week. And first up, what a job by Glass House Brands, who secured a $50 million credit facility at 8.58% fixed interest, a rare win in a cash-strapped industry. This improves their balance sheet and replaces a high-interest loan. Job well done by Kyle Kazan and the crew. Next up, Canopy Growth. They launched a new $200 million at-the-market equity program, allowing it to raise funds by selling shares. This move helps reduce debt and invests in future growth. I know lots of you have lots of questions about Canopy Growth, so we will get on this. We will speak to their crew and hopefully get them on the next couple of weeks. So keep you posted on that one. And finally, Rubicon Organics acquired MediPharm Labs Hope BC facility for $4.5 million Canadian, increasing its production capacity by 4,500 kilograms annually. It was deemed as a very cost-effective purchase agreement. To give you an idea, if the same facility was built today, the cost would be north of $10 million. Nicely done, Margaret Brody and team. All in all, this gives Rubicon Organics room to expand in the premium organic cannabis market. Recapping, this move highlights how companies are securing capital and scaling strategically despite industry headwinds. So there you have it. That's a wrap for this week's TDR's biggest developments in cannabis. We covered Trump's potential cannabis pivot, North Carolina's medical marijuana momentum, Kentucky's hemp battle, inflation's impact on cannabis, major earnings, and key industry deals. There's a lot happening in cannabis right now, as we know, and we'll break it all to you if you stay connected here at the TDR Trade to Black podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and smash on that bell for all notifications. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I'm Shad Dales, and I'll catch you next time on our latest Trade to Black podcast. Thanks everyone.